Hello, my name is Eva Schiffer, and today I would like to show you how we use the new NetMap method to better understand communication around avian influenza, and especially how we found some rather scary communication breakdowns and corruption hotspots in the countries that we worked in. So when talking about avian influenza communication, we looked at what happened on the ground level in different African and Asian countries, and we wanted to know if there is a suspicious dead bird, how does the information about that move up the chain to the national and international bodies? And once the avian influenza is confirmed, how does the intervention go down to the farm or to the market or to the place where this death happens, so that something can be done to avoid a catastrophe? And the case that I'll present today is from Ghana, where in the frame of this research project, we had a kickoff workshop using the NetMap method to draw these communication networks from the farm to the international, and from the international and national bodies down to the farm level again. And we used the NetMap toolbox. And when I say toolbox, I'm actually talking about a physical box with stuff in it, because very often when people hear the word toolbox, they think, oh, is that something on the computer? But we are actually using tools, or I could even say toys, to find out what's happening on the ground. And the way it goes is that first question is, who are all the actors that are involved? You put all these actors on a map, their actor names, and color-coded by the organization that they belong to. The next question is, how are they linked? So how does the information move from the dead bird to the next level and then up to the next level? And how does the intervention come down? What are their goals? What are their strengths? What is their mission? And how influential are they? And to indicate how influential they are, we put the actors on little influence towers. So every actor card has a tower made out of checkers pieces next to them, according to how strongly they can influence that this actually works. Now, in the case of Ghana, we drew this map. I computerized it so that it's easier to see. And you can see all the black dots are places where birds can die. So you have your urban small farm, you have your peri-urban big farm, you have your border veterinarian who might meet traders whose birds have died. And then the links, in this case, are just all the links of information going up to the authorities. And to pick out one specific case where we found a scary communication breakpoint, we looked at the rural small farm, which is the black dot at the bottom of the right-hand corner cluster. So if a bird dies there, you see that there's a lot of communication in this cluster. We could also call it gossip, because in this cluster, what do you have? You have the teachers, the opinion leaders, the district assembly person, a lot of people who all talk about the bird that farmer X had on his farm, but nobody can do anything. And then there's this one actor, and that's the animal health technician, who's the only one who can move the information up to the district level. And in the Ghanaian case, one dangerous thing that we saw was that there were far too few district health technicians to perform this role. And it might be that with all the gossiping on the community level, there would be far too much time for the disease to spread before something actually happened. But the most scary thing, and that was scary for everyone sitting around the table and drawing that, for the agricultural ministry people, for the people from the farms, from the trade associations, was the corruption hotspot at the border. So I asked my interview partners, what do you think? Do the farmers have an incentive to bribe anyone? And they said, no, the compensation actually works pretty well, and because the farmers only get their money if government kills the birds they actually want to report and they don't want to bribe anyone. But it's a completely different story with the traders, because there's no compensation for the traders, and they all trade with live birds, so they're just as contagious as on the farm. If a trader has suspiciously sick or dead birds, the most rational thing to do is to bribe the border official, cross the border, sell the birds somewhere where nobody knows you, and run back, starting a regional catastrophe. And that was something, when we sat around the table and looked at that, where everybody just looked at each other and shook their heads and realized that there was something that needed serious attention. And I think one of the reasons why it hadn't gotten that attention before was because avian influenza is an agricultural theme. So everybody in avian influenza is interested in farmers. And they didn't have any people interested in trade, people working with the markets, with the traders, in the teams working about avian influenza. So this is just one example of how getting groups together and letting them draw networks together and discuss their network knowledge can lead to surprising insights, even though it's just the knowledge of the people sitting in the room. Thanks a lot.